Hey everyone, Justin Lucas here, wanting to talk to you for a minute about crankbaits. And you know, the one that you see right here is the new Berkley Digger 8.5. This is your standard conventional style crankbait right here, but I want to talk to you about the difference from your standard type crankbaits with those type of bills to this one right here, which is the Wild Thang 8.5. And this bait is designed specifically to be fished around chunk rock, 45-degree banks. It's going to be a colder weather crankbait, so late fall, winter, into early spring, you know, right up until the spawn when those fish are all pre-spawned. But the one thing that you got to know about this crankbait, on a standard bait like this, Digger 8.5, you can reel it as fast as you want and it's going to track true all the way back to the boat the whole time. This bait right here is built to reel at slower speeds, so highly recommend a 5:4 gear ratio like the winch, you know, and reel this thing as slow as you can and really feel it to crawl around those rocks, because this bait, it doesn't track necessarily true. It does hunt a little bit, and that's what we wanted when building it. David Fritz was the mindset behind this thing. It is going to be a fish catcher if you fish it right. So slow, chunk rock, 45-degree banks, cold weather. So a lot like a jerkbait, fish are going to follow this bait. You know, they're going to follow crankbait, follow jerkbait. And what gets them to react on a jerkbait a lot of times is the erraticness of it. You know, they don't know which side it's going to dart to next, and that really gets their attention quickly and, you know, causes them to feed. So this bait is going to do that. So when the fish is following, they're going to track this thing behind it before they just come over and eat it right away. And when they're tracking it and it doesn't stay on the same path the whole way through and it kind of deflects off to the left or deflects off to the right, unnaturally, so to speak, that's what's going to trigger the fish to bite that are following this bait. And you know, there's really nothing else like it on the market. To me, it's definitely a clear water crankbait. They built the colors for clearer water. You know, of course it's going to work in dirty water as well, but the key is fishing it slow right out of the box. So don't be afraid to go with these hunting style crankbaits like the Wild Thang 8.5, because you know, when the fish are aggressive, the Digger 8.5 and reeling it on a fast 7-to-1, covering a ton of water, that's great. But when they're lethargic, you need something that's gonna, you know, have a little bit different action, something you need to really crawl slowly over the rocks, and that bait right there is gonna do it for you.